Welcome to the Well podcast. I am your host, Sharika Hines, and the Well is all about wellness as a lifestyle. It's where we inspire women and encourage them to prioritize self-care guilt-free without apologies. And on today's episode, we are talking about the Well devotional, a refreshing for the soul. And I am so glad to have with us this morning, Miss TaJuan Stout Mitchell. Hey, Miss TaJuan.
Hey, good morning, Sharika.
How you doing?
I'm great. It's good to be here.
It's good to have you. Miss TaJuan is one of my favorite people. Let me tell you, we do life together.
Yes, we do.
We do business together.
We do.
We do worship together.
We do.
We laugh together. And sometimes she let me do a little fashion together. I love that for us.
I love that part too. She makes me feel better.
Well, listen, she's very gracious and very kind. So you had your first opportunity to experience the TWS Haven Retreat.
Oh, my goodness.
Tell us about that experience.
You know, I have never been on a retreat with women. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Okay.
And I think mainly because I have had some experiences with women being catty or it being phony. And I opened myself up to going, and it was the best decision I've ever made in my life.
Oh,
And mainly because it was worship and sisterhood and cleansing.
tell us more about the cleansing piece.
It forced me to get out of my head and into my spirit.
That's good.
And then accept me, who I am. And I felt accepted by people around me. And they didn't even know me.
So beautiful.
But I felt loved and accepted. And I tried to give that unconditionally without knowing them.
And guess what? They felt that. I cannot tell you the number of stories that I've heard from women, and you've heard them too, because we've since connected, various groups of us since that time. And so I love that because I try to create safe spaces for women. So there is an opportunity for us to empower each other through education, connection, and community. That's what TWS is all about. And so I'm so glad that you got a chance to experience the Haven Retreat.
It was without titles, without knowledge of accomplishments, but seeing the pure essence of women from different walks of life without any of that phony stuff, but just based on a woman's intuition and need for
each other
because, and acceptance.
That's right, because
genuine acceptance,
right? And this is what I tell people: we are our sister's keeper, and let's define what that means. It's my responsibility to hold you in honor, right? To cover you. It's my responsibility to support you, to encourage you, and to lift you up, and to hold you accountable. And we ought to forget that accountability piece. I hold you accountable to taking care of yourself, to prioritizing yourself, right?
And to making sure that you realize you matter.
Yes.
And I think we often forget that there's a Bible verse that says, love your neighbor as yourself.
Right.
And we forget that part, yourself. So God has really already given us permission to love ourselves. But we love on others, but we sometimes
forget us. That's
it.
what I want to do. That's one of my missions in life, is to help women remember themselves, because I am a believer in this. You can't actually love others as you love yourself if you actually don't practice loving yourself. So that is a perfect segue into your story, into this Well devotional. And let me tell you all about this Well devotional. It is a refreshing for the soul. It is a collection of stories from various women around all walks of life that inspire and lift each other up. But what I love about it, it is our honest truth. And it is about your journey to self-discovery and self-awareness, and how are you practicing wellness as a lifestyle. I want to read a little bit of your story, if that's okay. And Ms. TaJuan's story Listen, y'all, get your tissue ready because I think this is going to resonate with many of you. So it says, there's a poem that has been my companion for as long as I can remember, reminding me that life is no crystal stair. While my life may appear to be a success story from the outside, internally, I have often wrestled with feeling second best. Growing up in a time when divorce was stigmatized, I tried to step out of the shadows of being a part of a broken family. And as a child who experienced childhood trauma, I spent years searching for love and acceptance, not realizing that the emptiness I felt was the trauma of my past. Throughout my life, it often felt like I was always almost there, but never quite enough. I was the runner up in competitions, the B student, and everybody's friend, but nobody's best friend. Even when I was thrust into leadership roles, I had to navigate the delicate balance of not intimidating others, particularly the boys, to avoid being alone. My career became a testament to prove that women could lead and have it all. Yet, even in these accomplishments, the sense of being second best lingered. I have faced various challenges: racism, sexism, ageism, and more. Yet, in those moments, a simple song would echo in my heart. Yes, Jesus loves me. When life felt full of tacks and splinters, and when I felt forgotten, that song reassured me most. Instead, it was Psalm 13 with its raw honesty and vulnerability, one of my favorite Psalms, by the way, that resonated deeply. It starts with sorrow, but shifts to hope, reminding me that even in the struggle, God is present. Life does not always go as planned, no matter how much we prepare. I can tell you a little bit about that myself.
Mm-hmm.
Unexpected challenges arise, but through them, I have learned to push toward the mark of a higher calling. The theory of success tells us to go to school, set goals, and surround ourselves with the right people. But life can throw curveballs, does it not?
It does.
So I learned to push forward, pray without ceasing, and praise God for every victory, big and small. Even the imagined crystal stair may have nails and rough places, but with faith and perseverance, I know I am not walking alone. Through every challenge and every moment of feeling second best, God's goodness has been a constant. As CC Winan sings, all my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. That's one of my favorite songs. His love is unwavering and his faithfulness follows me. I am his first choice for his purpose in this life. I am not second best in his eyes. That is beautiful. So let's talk about that. You've shared that growing up in a broken family and experiencing childhood trauma left you searching for love and acceptance. How did these early experiences shape your perspective on life and success?
Well, let me start by saying that it's not easy growing up in a broken family
Mm-hmm.
because you have been taught by society what family is supposed to be. And so when it happens to you, you feel as if something, as a child too, not only did I grow up in a broken family, I I got married one day and had a broken family.
Mm.
And so you feel as if something is not clicking with me. As a child, you wonder if you played a part in what happened to your parents.
Mm-hmm.
And as an adult, you worry that you are impacting your children. So it's generational.
Yeah.
And I never felt I was good enough. Um, I'll be honest with you. I was like many women today.
Mm-hmm.
I am a Me Too generation.
Yeah.
I'm 72 years old, and
A
it took me,
beautiful 72 years
thank you,
old.
but it took me almost 50 years to admit that I am a product of a Me Too.
Mm.
And that Me Too, even though I never told my parents, I never told anyone other than my sister, But that Me Too made me feel that there was something inadequate about me, that I was selected in this way.
Mm.
Um, and I think I struggled with wanting love too early.
Mm.
Um, I used to have boyfriends that would say to me all the time, "You get too serious too soon." I didn't know what dating was. I wanted to be loved.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it probably made me feel as if I would grab a hold to love the best way I could find it without realizing that God loved me and He is going to provide what I need when I need it.
Mm-hmm.
And and it's okay if I'm never married, but
Mm-hmm.
I thought I had to be married. So I think right out of college, I wanted to do all the things that they expect young people to do: get your college degree and get your MRS. I got
Get your MRS. Get your missus.
so I got my college degree and I
Mm-hmm.
got my MRS, and it was not. It was I was into my MRS maybe um, I guess 2 years after I realized
Mm-hmm.
this was not going to work, and I stayed 7 years longer than I should have.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even regret that. You know why?
Why?
And that's why I say life has boards and nails in it, and you're going to step on some rough places.
Mm-hmm.
But I got two beautiful girls out of that marriage
Oh.
that I wouldn't trade for anything. And they have become my best confidants,
Mm-hmm.
and their father has become a good friend.
That is such a blessing.
So I said, even when you step on boards and nails and you're injured, God can heal it
Mm-hmm.
so you can walk straight again.
It reminds me of scripture that says that he will use all
Yes,
things,
He will.
right, for his glory, right? If
Mm,
you are called according to his purpose.
mm,
And so that's the caveat. And
mhm.
so I'm so glad to hear that those things actually led favorably to your life. So then I have this question, I think. So society often places these pressures on women to get these misses, right? These
Yeah.
MRS, right?
Yes.
And so with those pressures on you and growing up in the time that you grew up, not so far away from desegregation, right? Also during the time of the women's liberation movement. So, with all of those societal pressures placed on you, how did you balance strength and approachability? How did you navigate these things?
I have always had a calling for leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the fact that society, I was going through the 60s. Dr. Lasimba Gray teases me all the time about when I was in Lane College. I was on campus getting a degree, but I was and getting my MRS, but I was also in the streets fighting for civil rights, and he
Mm-hmm.
could remember that when I was a college student. So
Mm-hmm.
I've always had a calling to lead, but
Mm-hmm.
it's never been easy to lead because as a woman, um, most people felt that that was a role for the men.
Mm-hmm.
So I navigated, I'll be honest with you, men became some of my best friends.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I navigated learning from them and also learning how not to intimidate,
Mm-hmm.
but collaborate.
How is learning not to intimidate but collaborate different from dumbing yourself down? Because I think a lot of
It
women are going to
is in a
listen to
sense.
this and want to know that.
Yes, it is in a sense. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm really speaking to an era of
Okay.
time
Okay.
that I had to do that in order to move things ahead.
And we're talking about the 70s,
Yes.
right?
Well, I'll be honest
80s.
with you, even in the 90s and early
My
2000s.
goodness.
Yeah, when I was on the city council, there were things that I knew and I researched and found that I felt the general public would accept better if it came from the men.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get it passed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I worked ideas through them. A good example, I really wanted to save the Whitehaven golf course, but most people thought a woman didn't know what she was talking about when she advocated for the golf course in Whitehaven. Well, I certainly did. I don't play golf, but I knew that Memphis, Whitehaven didn't have a golf course. We have a lot of families in the community, and they could benefit from that. And we could benefit from a recreational center that would hold a lot of events there. Well, I literally worked with the men to help navigate that, but it really came from me. And in the end, they made sure that people knew that push came
So
from
they
me.
can make sure you got that credit.
They
So
really
I'm
did.
curious to know, you say that you grew up with this childhood trauma. You always felt like you were second best, but you found yourself, number one, leading on campus.
Because
You,
God uses second bests.
does he use second best, or were you never second best?
No, I was second best.
No,
No.
I see. I have to challenge you on that. You
I was
weren't second best. You
You
were
know,
second best in your mind.
I was always the vice president. I was always the second runner up. That's why I always call myself the second best. I was always the second best. I was the first child, but my sister was the smartest. I was always the second best, but I got comfortable in my role.
I don't know. I've seen you support leadership. I've seen you lead from behind the scenes. So it's just the language that I think that we got to still work on, because you're not second best. God doesn't make second best. You're his first choice for
Well,
your
I'm
life
first
and for
choice
your
for him.
assignment.
I'm first choice of him.
And guess what? You're my first choice too.
And I would say this too. I think being second best always made me feel humble.
Really?
And I never felt, I never worked in a haughty spirit. I never mind sharing limelight. I never mind bringing people along with me. I think it was to my good.
Well, he will use these things, right? So the fact that you felt like an underdog and you felt like second best, I would imagine that that is something that gave you the courage to fight for others that you thought were marginalized.
Yeah, it most certainly did.
Yeah, and
It
so
most certainly did. So I don't run away from that. I know I am loved by God,
okay.
but by man I'm second best. So, but I always felt that I could. I always felt humble. I always felt that I could share the spotlight. I always felt that I can bring people along and help people as I moved on this journey. And I, as old as I am now, I still run into people who say to me, Miss Mitchell, I remember when you helped me with so and so, so and so. I remember when you did so and so, so. You put a phone call in for me, and I got that so and so, so and so. And it makes me feel so good. And I'm gonna tell you, this is goodness truth. I don't know if it's because I am, I'm not gonna claim dementia, but sometimes I don't even know these people. But they will say that to me.
But that's the goodness of your heart. It has happened to me, and I can tell you I don't have dementia, because guess what? People walk up to me and say, Sharika, I remember when you did so and so. This actually happened at the retreat. You may remember, I won't share the intimate details, but we were having an event. We were sitting around on the floor, and somebody said, yes, she remembered, and she brought me flowers, and they were there, and they were the only people that showed up. I do not recall that. You know why we don't recall it? I'm a believer of this. It's because we did it from the heart, and we did it because it was
Yeah, I believe
necessary.
you're right about that. And
Yeah.
you make it your way of life.
Exactly.
You make it your way of life to do good, be good, and show goodness. And when you make it your way of life, you don't have to keep a scorecard.
So now I have a question. You say that the crystal stair, I think, is a powerful metaphor. So my question is, how have you used that metaphor to help you accept and embrace the rough places in your life?
Always accept that things won't go as always as planned. But I always know that the outcome will be bright because of faith and hope and the tenacity to keep going. And when obstacles come, You just have to shift gears. There's a guy that I know who was a pro soccer player, and he had a tag on his um, car that said Plan B. And I asked him one day, "Why you put Plan B on your on your car?"
Mhm.
And he said, "Because Plan A is always his plan. God's plan was Plan B."
Mm.
So usually when they don't go well, it's
Mhm.
because you're working on Plan A
Mhm.
and you haven't included God in your plan.
Yeah.
And then he shifts. You step on something and you realize that hurts, and then he'll shift your plan around and get you where you need to be. And I thank him for that. I also think that it gives you motivation to
Mhm.
share with others when they're in despair.
Mhm.
That happened to me. It hurts,
Mhm.
but you are going to be all right.
Yeah. So I would like to offer this to you as we get to our last few questions. I would like to offer to you that I'm not so sure that second best is the language you want to use. What I have heard is that God allowed all the circumstances in your life to push you down your purpose path. And
Mm-hmm.
those were the things that he
Mm-hmm.
used as fuel to give you the passion and motivation that you would need to fight for the people who were similarly situated. And as a result of that, then now where you have found yourself, because I know a little bit about your life because we do
Mm-hmm.
life together, is that I don't see you being considered as
Oh,
second best.
well, I
You
thank
are,
you.
hold on, because I think this is important, is that I have seen you excel. You have worked for 4 mayors and been the top choice. Not only that, you have been successful in working across partisan lines. You have brought communities together, not because there was anything in it for you. You have done it because it was the right thing to do at the right time for the right people who were underserved and marginalized and couldn't do it for themselves. I've seen you lead causes. I've seen people in power call you to make decisions because they did not have the answer. And I will say that God has done you an amazing solid by allowing those early beginnings to make you feel like that you were second best so that you could actually be the first choice in the line of work and the purpose that He has
Yeah,
called you to lead.
I thank you for that. I know one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't regret anything on this journey
Mm-hmm.
because everything on this journey has gotten me where I am. But I'll be honest with you, it really has been about service to others and not me.
Mm.
It really has.
Yeah.
I can remember being running for school board, and there were 4 other candidates in the race, and all with bigger names than mine. I mean, from doctors and
Yeah.
lawyers and community leader. But somehow God saw fit to let my message resonate to the voters, and we won. I think we won because even there I felt, wow, I'm competing with all of these known commodities in the community. And I am second best in here, but God made sure that I was the first choice for the voters. And as a result of that, Black history was taught for the first time in our schools.
Mm-hmm.
As a result of that, we did with Sarah Lewis and now we did our first um, study on the economic impact of using Black businesses in Memphis City schools, and we found that it was dismal. And that disparity study brought about a change.
Mm.
As a result of that, we made sure that money that came from the state for teachers' salaries was sometimes not used for teachers' salaries, and we
Mm.
put a stop to that. And as a result of that, I can tell you the many times my phone rang and parents were upset about something that happened to their children in schools. And just listening to those parents without judgment
Mm-hmm.
gave me an opportunity to make sure children graduated. I can, I'll never forget one story with a child who was expelled from school in her senior year. And she was expelled because she had a razor coming through the metal detector, and it was picked up. Now, you know, and I know you can't bring a razor to
Right.
school, but because a principal, a social worker at the school, nor anybody in administration talked to her about why she had the razor, she was never heard.
Mm.
And when you ask the questions, okay, why did you bring the razor? And well, it was in my school kit. Well, you're supposed to leave your school kit for cosmetology at school. Well, I took my school kit home. But when I met her mother, and her mother's head was bald, and I looked at her, I said, "You shaved your mother's head?" She said, "I shaved my mother's head because she's losing her hair from cancer treatments." If we, it is so important for us to be there for families.
Yeah.
And this child who was ready to graduate with and be a licensed cosmetologist would have been retained a whole year.
If not for you, your
If not
leadership.
for someone speaking to me, telling me to ask the right questions and get the right answers. It wasn't just me. And that's when we are given the privilege to serve, we also given the opportunity to hear the voices of people that you're serving.
Thank you. So I have a question, Mr. Juan, as we get ready to wrap up. You said that you were the second best in that race, but you were the first choice for the community. I'm going to keep driving this point home. You were not second best. That is your language for yourself, but apparently the community 4 times over said you were the
Yeah, they
first
voted
choice.
for me 4 times. Never lost a race.
That's right. You never lost the race. And if you had ran for that one you really wanted to run for, you would have won that one too. But I have to ask you this question. So if, as a woman reading this story about thinking she's second best and going on to accomplish a number of things that you have accomplished, tell me what you want her to hear and know.
Well, I'm going to still say I'm second best because I'm guided by God.
Nope. You
I'm
can't say
second
you're
best.
second best and be guided by God. So we're going to have to just disagree
He's
on that.
first. I'm second.
Well, no.
It's his will and his way, and I move. I'm going to still say that because I want to stay.
Well, you can stay humble, but you can stay humble without feeling like you are second, because that second means that you believe that God created always something better than you. But we're going to come back to it, because what I want to know is, you said earlier in our conversation that you spend a lot of time taking care of other people.
I do.
And yet last night we were talking and you said, you know what, Shrika, I am going to spend 2025 focused on my goals and focusing on me. That's the wellness as a lifestyle I want you to focus on. So tell us how you plan to prioritize TaJuan.
Now, there are some things
2025.
that I cannot compromise because I am a wife and a mother.
Yeah.
And I have a mother who is 96 years old, who lives with me, and caregiving for my mother and now for my husband will be priority. But I will also make sure that outside of them, nothing interferes with what I've planned for me.
How is it different from how you've operated in the past? I'm asking you this
Everybody's
question.
agenda is, I push mine down.
Okay.
I push mine
exactly.
down. And I will admit that somebody got a big dream of writing a book. I'm going to go all out to help them with that, but I'll push mine away. Or somebody wants me to work on a campaign, and I know I really need to spend time on writing a book or working on some
You have some big projects.
curriculum. I'll push mine away and I'll work on that campaign. And then before I know, the year is gone. That is not going to happen to me in 2025.
I love that for you.
That is not going to happen.
I love that for you.
I am running. I kept telling people, I am running out of time. I am on a time.
All of us are.
I'm running out of time. And I'm going to make sure God gave me these ideas. I'm going to see them through fruition in 2025. And I'm going to give it my best. Now, there are some things that I am going to yield to, and that the health of my mother and the health of my husband and myself. All
Yes.
three. Mine will take precedent, and then theirs. Because if I'm not healthy, I can't help them.
And that's wellness as a lifestyle, people. Well, so thank you so much, Mr. Juan, for sharing your journey with us. Thank you for sharing your time. And what I hope that you all hear and understand as listeners is that we practice wellness as a lifestyle on this journey. And that's what it is. It is a journey. And so, as you have heard through Ms. Tawan, that she has accomplished a lot of things. But what we are so excited about is that in 2025, she is going to prioritize bringing her dreams to fruition as she still shows up in all of these other roles and capacities. But wellness is a lifestyle. It's something that we will practice. And she knows that I'm going to hold her accountable to
Oh, I
making
do.
sure she knows. And they know I believe in taking care of Sharika. And I will teach you how to take care of you. Thank y'all so much. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.